Okay, as we start to transition into our next section, I will start to introduce. In just 2 years' time, the Colorado State University system will open a new, exciting campus in the heart of Denver at the revitalized National Western Center complex. It promises to perform for innovation towards solving the largest global problems for our time in water, food, sustainability, and health. I'd now like to welcome Jocelyn Hittle, Senior Director of Sustainability and Denver Programs at the Colorado State University System, to provide an update on the campus. First, we're going to start with a short video on the new campus.
The Colorado State University campus at the National Western Center will be a collaborative space for discovery, opportunity, and problem solving, where world-renowned researchers work on answers to global challenges, where the next generation discovers and creates cutting-edge technology in food and agriculture, where kids get their hands dirty, literally, where a university convenes diverse minds around the biggest issues of our time, building bridges and leveraging our collective creativity. We know that the challenges of tomorrow cannot be solved by the thinking of today. This idea is at the core of the CSU campus at the National Western Center, a major redevelopment project in North Denver comprised of committed local, national, and global partners. The CSU campus will have 3 buildings focused on food, water, sustainability, and human and animal health. CSU will also provide a platform for others, a place for diverse partners to activate and educate. The campus will be a place where research occurs alongside exploratory learning, bringing youth into contact with scientists and opening their minds to new passions and new career opportunities. A space open to all, where we will ask everyone which big problems they want to work on, which local to global issues they want to solve, and show them how to get started. A front door to the world-class research at CSU, right in the heart of Denver. And a place where experts from around the world will convene to address challenges in food, water, and health. A connection between urban and rural, between local and global. A platform to amplify community and partner efforts and to engage citizen scientists. A place to inspire. A child might enter the campus not knowing where the food on her plate comes from, but could leave inspired to solve the global food crisis. The opportunities are endless. The impact is limitless. Let's change the world together. We'll see you there.
Thanks all. I'm Jocelyn Hittle, and pleased to be here, as I have been for the last 4 years, to give you an update on what is happening with the National Western Center project. So for how many of you will this be the first time you've heard anything about this? Okay, there are a few hands that are going up. I'm sorry, this will not be the opportunity for you to get a really deep dive. What I'm really going to focus on is what's happened in the last year or so since I was here in front of all of you last. So, that video gives you a little bit of a sense of some of the programs. You saw a lot of young faces in that video, a lot of kids. And I was really struck as I was listening to our previous panel on storytelling about how so much of what we're thinking about the National Western Center being is targeted toward those young faces and minds, and thinking about how we can tell, and now I'm corrected, not do good storytelling, but do good engagement about the topics around food, water, and health that we want to focus on. So I am going to, I'm lucky today in that I can show you some new images of our buildings. These are hot off the presses. People have not seen these yet. You are the first folks. But first I just want to set the stage a little bit. So this is where the National Western Center project is in North Denver. So you can see there the intersection of I-25 and I-70 is very close to the site. All those little colored boxes, I show this slide to really highlight those little colored boxes. Those are all different real estate projects that are happening in North Denver. So as you go north from downtown along Brighton Boulevard, if you're familiar with Denver, you know where I'm talking about, This is all activity that's happening just south of us. So we really get to be kind of the northern end of some of the hottest activity and change in the city of Denver. So it's a really important location. It's really important that we're leveraging where we are. And also it's the crossroads of Colorado. You've got I-25, I-70, you've got lots of eyes. You have rural and urban people who are both coming through this site. So we're really excited about the progress that we've made in the last year toward making this a reality. So I'm not going to talk much about this. This hasn't really changed much since I talked to you last year. This is the map of the first 2 phases of the site. So our 3 facilities that I'll say more about are really at the main intersection that you see of Betty Cram Drive and kind of the main plaza of the campus. You'll see new stockyards are up at the northern end, new equestrian center that curves along the river, our 3 facilities, the Western Stock Show Association's new headquarters in their legacy building, and then as you curve and go back up north, a new livestock center and back up into the stockyards. All of that is bounded by several rail lines, including the RTD line that will be one stop out of Denver Union Station. On the other side of that, where you see that dotted line, this is an area called the Triangle, which will be developed in collaboration with the private sector. There will be an RFP released later this month for the 2 shortlisted groups of private sector developers that will be then developing what it is that they want to do there. Where they're required to build us a new arena, a new expo hall, provide some parking, and to renovate the existing historic 1909 Stadium Arena. So that's a place that many of you, if you go to the stock show, are familiar with. So I just wanted to update you that that's coming. So when we're back here in a year, I'll be able to tell you more about what's happening in that portion of the site. But today I'm going to give you a really quick program snapshot. Many of you have seen some of these programs before. The CSU vision here is really focused on the intersection of food, water, and health. So you'll see our 3 facilities are focused on those topics, but one of the things we really want to make clear is the strong connections between those 3 topics. So that's what our vision for this site is. It is a system project, so it will be a place for CSU Fort Collins, CSU Global, and CSU Pueblo, both a place to showcase the work that's coming out of those institutions, but also for research and education programs that really have their homes in each of those home campuses. It will also be different from a typical academic campus. You'll know that I hit on this a lot. Very public facing. We're really thinking about that engagement. How do we host the kinds of conversations that this panel that was just up here is talking about, that 2-way dialogue between consumer and producer? How do we engage different populations in a really authentic way so that we can all advance the state of the art and be where we want to be together? A lot of K-12 focus. We're also interested in introducing young people to careers and to educational pathways they might not have considered for themselves before, including the wide gamut of different careers that are available within the food system, which range from engineers that are focused on satellite technology all the way down to soil scientists, right? Sort of thinking about that even just from an altitude perspective, there's a lot. And also a place where we're thinking about innovation and where we're really doing what this conference is about and thinking about the innovation mindset. So you can see those are some of the areas that we're thinking about: partnering, convening, bringing people together. All right, so now I will get to the good part, which is some new images of what these buildings will actually be. And I hope that they start to crystallize some of the programs I've been talking about for the last several years and help to get you excited about coming down in 2022 to see them when they're done. So our first facility, the Animal Health Complex, will host a variety of programs: K-12 educational programs, equine-assisted therapy, equine sports medicine. It will be the home of students who are there on rotation who will stay there. So that is a concept of what that building will look like right there at the intersection and close to the South Platte River. Inside that space, one of my favorite features is that we will have a veterinary clinic that is what we call on show, which means that our partners there in the Dumb Friends League who will be running that clinic will have the public able to watch them at work. So surgeries, dental exams, dental cleanings, exams, everything that they're doing, the public can actually see it. And the vets will have mics. They'll be describing what's happening. It'll be a great way to connect kids, and their parents for that matter, with careers in animal health. And we're really excited about that opportunity. The water building will host a wide variety of programs: policy, innovation, education and research. It's a place where Denver Water will also have their compliance laboratory. But it's also a place where we want to bring together people to talk about water from across different sectors. We really feel like this is a unique position for us to be in and a unique service to provide, is a place for agriculture, municipal utilities, recreation and the environment, manufacturing, all of these people who touch water in different ways to come together in one place to have these conversations. We have not waited to have this building, which I will show you now, built to start having those conversations. As many of you know, we have hosted for the past 2 years a Water in the West conference that is designed to bring those audiences together. In fact, Tabor participated in that as well, and I think she's going to have another career as an MC coming her way. So this place, this building is designed to bring people in. The facade is actually the cross-section of a river eddy. We're thinking about all these different ways that we can evoke water and get people to sort of say, what is that place, and to want to come in, because it's very, we want it to be very public. So you can see what that might look like from another direction, where you are able to cut through and go out into the backyard, which will look like this, or roughly like this. Right now we're thinking about the backyard that connects down to the South Platte River as being a place where you can explore all 8 of the major river basins of Colorado. So we can split that up into places that actually feel and tell a story a little bit. Oh, no, sorry, don't tell a story. They engage people around those 8 river basins, because it is something that makes Colorado unique. We are one of only 2 headwaters state where all the water flows away, right? So we want to tell the story of what makes us unique around water. And lastly, the CSU Center for Food and Agriculture. Again, this idea of building an innovation mindset, this is one of the places where that will be happening, particularly around food. We will have service laboratories there that can do soil testing and plant pathology. It will be a place where our Denver Extension office is, and again, that K-12 piece is a huge component. So these are brand new images of what that building will look like. You can see at this end that's closest to you a big glass box, and this is where we want to have educational content for kids and big green things and drones flying, so that people can see it from far away and say, oh my gosh, I got to go in there. So that is what we're really one of the things we're really excited about. That's another view of it. I always love how our designers make all the buildings kind of gray around it so that it looks particularly shiny and great. We haven't actually like whitewashed all the other buildings around it, but that is one of the things I like about this image is you can see the Livestock Exchange building. So if you frequently go to the stock show now, the Livestock Exchange building is that little building that you can see tucked under. And our design team did that on purpose because we want you to be able to see the history of the site and the facilities that are still going to be there. This is a place where we will have a food pilot facility where there's corporate and industry partners, entrepreneurs can come in, get access to a food lab, get access to a kitchen. It's a place where our extension agents and others can teach cooking and nutrition classes. This is another view of what it might look like from the south, where you're looking at the green roof and greenhouses that we are planning on putting on the roof, again, for that conversation around urban agriculture. Since we last were all together, a lot of work has been done by the College of Ag Sciences, and I need to give Paula Mills, who is also the mastermind of this conference and is in the back, a lot of credit for all the work she has done to work with the College of Ag over the last year or so, a little year plus, to bring all of these ideas into more clarity. So thanks, Paula, for everything you do. So some of these ideas include CAMS Academy, which is more formal education opportunities for kids. This kitchen and food lab that I mentioned, which is a place where both CSU researchers and students can be, but also our corporate and industry partners. And again, with this idea about sensory testing, you could develop a new product and then you've got an audience of people there who can test it out and tell you if it's good or not. I'm happy to sign up for those, although I realize that some new products aren't good. So it's a little bit of a risk, but I think that most of them will be, so I'm excited to sign up to help out. And a place where we'll host also agribusiness innovation. That'll link to a master's program in agribusiness innovation, but also a place where entrepreneurs and researchers and students can all come together, really pointed at the big problems in the food system together. So if we are thinking about connecting kids with careers, we really need some folks who can help us do that in a more targeted way. So our extension team will be there, our engagement hub will be there. that will provide connections to resources both inside and outside CSU that can help point kids on a pathway to a career in food. And then lastly, because it is an urban site, one of the things that we are focused on is how do we teach people about what urban agriculture actually looks like, because we've got this kind of tall, skinny building that we're going to be in with various different technologies in it. How do we teach people what that really means, both from a high-tech perspective, but also this is what you can do on your apartment balcony. So that is something that we're really excited about. So this is my last point, which is I have been saying for a long time, I've been talking about these buildings with you all for a long time and what's coming, but we are actually breaking ground in March on the animal health building, and we will have all 3 of our facilities open in 2022. So when I say coming soon, it's still 2 years, but relatively speaking, that's a lot. That's pretty soon. So we're really excited about that. But as I mentioned, we're not waiting for those facilities to start offering programs. Not only do we have Water in the West, but we also have other folks who are focused on developing educational programs. We have Carrie Wright-Platice, who's wave in the back, Carrie, who has come on board, who is focused on international ag and how to connect to National Western Center. And obviously, Secretary Vilsack and his wife, Christy, are both working with us, and we're very fortunate to have them on our team. We're not waiting. If you've got ideas of things that you want us to be thinking about, there's still time. We've got 2 years, but there's not a lot of time. So come and find me, and we'll continue to talk about what programs might suitably be hosted in the facilities that we've got about to come out of the ground. So with that, I will hand it back to Tabor.